There is a series of laws that the state of California have passed that make our community safer. SB 2 is an example of what is possible in the state of California, what is constitutionally possible amid the national conversations. And so this is incredibly refreshing that we have AG Bonta, Governor Newsom, a slew of legislators supporting SB 2 under Senator Portantino, to make sure that communities feel safe and that concealed weapons have additional restrictions when it comes to who is able to get them.
We do. We act. We push. We will not accept the unacceptable, and we will do everything in our power that's constitutionally compliant to protect the safety, health, and welfare of our children, of our families, of our communities throughout the state. That's what we're doing here today.
I will be signing this legislation. I don't think that, I know that. So you can ask me how, I just do. It's just going to happen because of the folks behind me.
My daughter, Lorna Clark, died in 1988 at age 19 after she was shot and killed by her boyfriend in Chico, California. She moved to Chico, but she never got to attend a single class. She never got to have a family. She never got to reach for her dreams. Her life was senselessly cut short by a gun. It's up to us to stand up to the gun industry that floods our communities with guns and puts their profits before our safety. We need to do everything we can to ensure that hidden weapons are kept out of sensitive places where guns don't belong.
The testimony of any parent who has lost a child or any human being that has loved a loved one is always so impactful. I represent a community that for decades has been impacted by gang violence. And while we think about mass shootings on a national level, gang violence and shootings in communities of color in urban areas particularly have always existed, and they've existed for a long time. So now we get an opportunity to think about expanding that and providing resources to communities that need them the most. I want to also talk about mental health. It's not only just about the shooting itself and concealed weapons and who is able to get them, but what happens to communities, what happens to families. How do we support the child who lost a parent? How do we support a sibling who lost a sister and brother to gang violence? Gang violence also needs to be included in the conversation. Shootings at all different scales is also part of the solution and conversation. There have been decades-long struggles and challenges in urban communities and immigrant communities and low-income communities when it comes to shootings, when it comes to gang violence, when it comes to more resources for mental health. We can look at SB 2 as a solution for California amid a Supreme Court decision on concealed weapons. However, we get to do things differently. And communities like mine have been ignored for far too long and have experienced death at a way in which it's become normalized. And so you can have someone in your community be shot as you walk to school and have to step over a body. Those are real examples that some communities have also gone through. So we could take a look at that. We could take a look at mass shootings. We can collectively think about policies that impact in a positive way those that have been impacted the most. And so I'm excited to be in a space to be able to bring those conversations also to the table and to ensure that all communities are represented.